It's Titan time! Double Trouble October Edition. This is the video you've all been waiting for. An epic tabletop showdown between two absolute behemoths in the Warhammer 40k universe. The Warlord Titan, the Imperium of Man's ultimate weapon of war, and the Great Gargant, a towering, unstoppable orc killing machine. This video has been kindly sponsored by Dice Goblin, but I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Now, if you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know that I meticulously built and painted the Warlord Titan. The biggest, most expensive kit Games Workshop make in dozens of videos over a 2-year period. The Orc Gargant, on the other hand, was built out of a printer, a cornet, random toys and loads of junk over the course of a week, and after 2 different studio moves, it's looking a bit worse for wear. No worries though, to prep it for this epic battle report, Steve and I gave it a little TLC, fixing the broken arm, adding some extra greebly details, and giving it a fresh lick of paint and weathering to make it really pop. Now, in the original Gargant build and paint video, I also wrote some cool rules for it, but time makes fools of us all, and they were written for 8th edition. We're now in 10th, so they needed to be updated to face off against the Titan using the current 40k rule set, and I knew exactly who could help reimagine the Gargant's rules for 10th. Tyler, aka Billion Dollar Clown Farm, is just the epitome of a good orc player for me. From an awesomely themed, customized, amazingly painted army to his string of tournament successes using bizarre and fun lists, I knew he was the perfect person to reimagine the Gargant rules with me. I gave all the updated rules and stats to my amazingly talented friend Alex, and he knocked up this incredible 10th edition datasheet. What an absolute legend. Now, I know you're keen to get to the action, so I'll be brief here. I won't go over all of the rules. Suffice it to say that with these new rules, it's a fantastic match for the Warlord. A little bit less tough and slightly slower, but it has the potential to hit much harder than the Titan at close range. While still being pretty faithful to the rule set I came up with for 8th edition, it has lots of swingy randomness thrown in to keep it feeling nice and orky. We'll obviously refer to the stats as we go, but if you want to open a new tab and take a look at the Gargant's datasheet while the video is playing, you'll find a link in the description, and let's get on with the action. Okay, so as I said in the intro, here we are, all set up. This is really just an exposition game. We're not going to be messing around with objectives or anything like that. We are here for one thing and one thing only, and that is to see 2 enormous models go head to head and smash each other to bits. If anybody wins on objectives, I would personally consider that a failure. Let's just get on with it. We took turns deploying off camera, facing each other on a 4-foot by 8-foot board, just to give us a little bit more space and a bit more time before things clash dramatically in the middle. Each side consists of 1 Titanic unit, so the orcs have the Great Gargant, and the Imperium side has the Warlord Titan, and then we have essentially what is a post-battle stragglers kind of army, just a 500-point accompaniment to make it feel like the battlefield isn't totally devoid of life.
Yeah, so as Guy said, we've just made a little 500-point army just to add on to these titanic behemoths. All I've done is just to stick with the knightly theme, is add a couple of armigers, well, 1 armiger and 1 helverin, and then a couple of stand-in inquisitors, but as you'll see, they both look like little knights, and one is the little doggo. That's about all I can get in for 500 points. Oh, I almost forgot. She's so secretive that I almost forgot about her. There's an assassin, but she's currently deployed in a very sneaky place at the moment, but she'll drop in onto the board and hopefully do some assassinating later on.
And for the additional 500 points of orcs, I have a squad of 3 killer cans, and then I have 2 units of 20 boys. One of them has shooters, and they are going to be embarked upon the Gargant, and another one has sluggers, and they are sneakily off the board at the moment. I might bring those in as tactical reserves. And then finally, my Warlord is the single mech running behind the Gargant, and he is going to be buffing the Gargant with his Mechaniac ability. But with the new rules for the Gargant, it won't be quite as effective as it would be on a smaller model. Now, obviously this board is full of terrain, and that's going to be a little bit difficult for maneuvering, so what we've decided to do is create a house rule for Titanic units. Basically, a Titanic unit can move over terrain, no problem at all, but if it ends its move on top of a terrain piece, it can remove that terrain piece from the board. However, it has to take the equivalent of the terrain piece's height in inches as wounds. So it can save against them, but there's a chance that it'll actually cause damage to the model if it actually ends its turn over a terrain piece.
So that basically means if you're stepping over a piece of 5-inch terrain like these containers, you're going to have to save against 5 wounds. So you could take some damage, or you might just crush it and move on.
So we're not going to mess around with attackers or defenders or anything, we're just going to roll to see who goes first. Let's go!
Okay, I'll take that.
Now, just to make this video as exciting and cool as possible, we're going to kind of gloss over the minutiae of what these smaller models do in terms of what they roll and just focus on if they actually do anything to each other. But obviously, we'll show you everything the bigger models do, because honestly, that's why people are here, right?
Off we go. The command phase. Everybody gets a CP. So, movement. Tactically, I really should keep as much stuff back as possible for a time. So I think the Warlord's going to stay where he is, but everything else is going to run forwards and hopefully do something interesting before getting shot off the table. Okay, it's time for some shooting now. I don't think they're going to do anything, but the stubbers on the armigers are going to have a go. And then, so will the Helverin. Obviously targeting the killer cans, not the giant building-sized thing on the other end of the table. After a lot of shooting, the Armiger and the Helverin managed to take 4 wounds off of a killer can. And that's everything from all of the infantry, the extra 500 point list. And now it's time for the main event, the Warlord's shots. So we're out of range for some of the smaller weapons, so it's straight onto the big stuff. 1 set of the Apocalypse missile launchers are going to go into the killer cans, and everything else is going to go into that behemoth at the end of the table. Okay, that was a pretty successful first salvo. Hopefully that will clear out those pesky little killer cans before they even get to take a step.
Okay, AP -2, that means their 3-ups are going to be turned into a 5-up, and a fail 5 of them, and that's 2 damage each.
2 damage each, yeah. 5 failed, that's 10 damage. Well, that's exciting. Each one has got deadly demise. Does this first one explode? It does!
Each model within 6 inches takes a single mortal wound, so the Gargant is down to 99 wounds. And both of those remaining killer cans are down to 4 wounds, and that's before I even start allocating wounds. Because those are 2 each and they only have 4 wounds left, that means they are both destroyed. Do they explode as well?
Well, that's unfortunate. That's another one that explodes.
The Gargant is down to 98 wounds. Not ideal, but you know, whatever.
Not even fired at the thing yet. Right, now it's time to fire that other battery of missiles into the Gargant. Strength 8 into toughness 15, I'm looking for some 5s.
The Gargant has a 2-up save. These attacks are AP -2, so I'm needing 4s.
That's 4 failed, and each one of those is 2 damage each.
And that means the Gargant is already on 90 wounds.
Time for the Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator, and of course, we're overcharging. Okay, that's 14 shots hitting on 3s.
You're having way better luck rolling than I did when I was using the Titan.
That's 10 hit, strength 12 into toughness 15. I'm looking for 5s. And the crowd goes mild. 2.
Okay, AP -3, that means I'm going to be looking for 5s. Oh, okay, 8 damage each. That means 16 wounds off, down to 74 wounds.
And here's my hazardous roll. And safe. Okay, that's it for shooting, and that's my turn.
Okay, Orcs turn 1, command phase. Everyone gets a command point. We're both on 2. Also in the command phase, I'm going to use the Great Gargant's Grot Riggers ability. Basically a souped up version of the normal Grot Riggers ability. Regains 2d6 wounds. However, it can only be repaired once per turn, so the mech won't also be able to repair it. So, oh, 10! Very nice. That means I'm back up to 84. Ho, ho, ho.
All of that good Emperor's work undone by a few little grots.
Now it's my command phase, I can also activate the Gargant's force field. It's annoying that I had to go second and can do this first. Basically, I'm rolling 2d6, and that generates a force field buffer of wounds that can soak up extra damage before the Gargant actually starts taking damage, which is nice. So what kind of force field are we working with this turn? That's pretty respectable, 8 force field points. Now it's onto the movement phase, and I have to consider whether or not I want to advance, because the Gargant gets really, really effective the closer it gets, essentially, and I'm quite far away. Only 2 of my weapons are in range, so I might sacrifice shooting them this turn, and hopefully rely on my force field and my 84 remaining wounds to get a bit closer to the Titan to clobber it. So yeah, I'm going to advance the Gargant and the mech this turn. Okay, the Gargant is going to advance an extra 3 inches, so that means its movement will be 12. So our homebrewed Titanic terrain smashing rules come into play here. That central piece of terrain is 12 inches high, so the Gargant is going to be suffering 12 wounds, so I have to roll my normal saves against them. Okay, 1 fail there, so that means the Gargant suffers another wound, down to 84. I can't take it off the force field because it's not a ranged weapon. And the mech is going to advance 5 inches extra, of course, so he's going to be racing up behind the Gargant. Now that's my movement done, no shooting because I advanced, and now we're at the end of battle round 1. I bet you've noticed our new custom dice. They have been made for us by our awesome friends at Dice Goblin. Now I'm not trying to sell you these dice, well not yet anyway, these are just the prototypes, but Dice Goblin have just launched a new RPG dice Kickstarter with a twist, and given that you're watching a battle report, I know you're a wargaming nerd, and you probably know loads of other tabletop and RPG gamers too. Honestly, would one of these new wildly colourful dice sets not be the perfect gift for them or for you? Each blind box contains a 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12-sided die, a percentage die and 2 d20s, as well as a themed sticker, character card, dice bag and an adventure PDF, all for just a tenner. Crazy good value for money, honestly. Also, if you order more than one set, there's a guarantee of no duplicates for the Kickstarter orders. Well, unless you order more than 12, obviously, because there are 12 unique character styles available. All the dice are very readable, high contrast with really poppy, fun colours, and the quality is sensational. I mean, I'm literally choosing Dice Goblin to make our custom Midwinter Minis dice, so that's probably as honest a recommendation as anyone can give, right? Now, if you want to treat yourself a little bit more, there's also loot crates with 4 dice sets, t-shirts, a bigger dice bag, a cool Dice Goblin coin, and possibly some printed battle maps if the Kickstarter keeps doing well. The good news, it's already hit its funding goal too, so there's no danger this isn't happening, so follow the link in the description to let them know I sent you, treat yourself to a cheeky little blind bag, and support a small indie hobby company while you're at it. Win, win, win. And now it's time for Battle Round 2, the Imperium of Man. Take it away, Steve.
Command phase, everybody gets another CP. In a very not strategic move, I think we're going to move everything forwards, including the Warlord. Having had a quick look at Guy's great Gargant rules, I actually might retract the moving forwards. I think maybe the Warlord's going to move backwards. I really want to get out of the range of that belly cannon. My assassin has just dropped in out of deep strike right behind that Gargant. Her target is that mech. Gonna try and debuff that Gargant as much as we can. The other little infantry guys, they were going to advance and try and get close and use some of their combi weapons and all of their shenanigans, but didn't really roll very well there, so they're going to try and hide in that building. And the Armiger and Helverin are just doing their duty and charging up the board. Now it's time for some shooting. Right, the assassin's dropped in and done an alright job. She's taken off 3 out of his 4 wounds off that mech. Don't worry, we're going to try and charge in a moment. The Armiger and the Helverin, they're both going to do exactly what they did last time, and everything they've got into the Gargant. So, after loads of autocannon fire and stubber fire, I managed to get 2 wounds through. Unfortunately, it looks like Guy's going to soak those up on his shields. Okay, everything into the Gargant. Here goes 40 Apocalypse missile launchers.
And those are strength 8, so against toughness 15, you're going to be winning on 5s.
So 9 have gone all the way through. That's 9 saves for you, Guy. AP -2.
I'm looking for 4-ups then. And I failed 5. That is 2 damage each. 10 damage, 6 will be absorbed by the force field, and 4 will go straight through to the Gargant. So that means it goes down from 83 to 79 wounds.
Now we've cleared off that shield, we can get into the really good stuff.
Okay, next up, Steve is firing the Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator, and he's overcharging it. He got 13 shots.
12 out of 13 hit, that's pretty good. Strength 12 versus toughness 15, so I'm looking for 5s. Only 3.
Okay, 2-ups turn to a 5-up with that AP -3, and oh no, I don't make any of them.
It's 24 damage.
Yeah, 8, 16, 24. Oh no. That means the Gargant is 79 down to 55 wounds. Almost halfway dead. Oh no.
Ardex Defensor Las Cannons. Here we go. Okay, and nothing from them. Right, that's all the shooting done. Time for that charge. Can the assassin make a 9-inch charge? Let's see. Yes, she can. Fight phase time. The assassin has got 5 attacks hitting on 2s. I've only had to roll the hits. One of those is lethal. Guy can't save against it because it's AP -3 and it's damage 2, so see ya. Guy just pointed out that I could actually consolidate the assassin into the Gargant, and I think that's what we're going to have to do. Okay, and that's everything for the end of turn 2 for me.
Okay, now it's time for the Orcs turn 2. In the command phase, everyone gets a command point. I go up to 4, Steve goes up to 4. Let's perform the other command phase shenanigans. So first the Grot Riggers, regaining 2d6 wounds on the Gargant. Ugh, only 5, so back up to 60 wounds, and what about the force field? Oh, 10. Okay, pretty respectable. Okay, time for movement, and I'm going to take advantage of the biggest and stompiest rule and just absolutely ignore the fact that little assassin is trying to hump my toes and fall back because I'll still be eligible to shoot and charge. I'm going to move 9 inches forward, so that means those 2 terrain pieces right in front of me are going to be destroyed. One is 5 inches high and the other is 6 inches high, so 11 dice total, saving on 2s. Oh no, so I failed 2 of them, down to 58 wounds. Okay, these 2 terrain crates as well are in the way, so they're going to have to get destroyed too.
Oh lord, guy, there's not going to be any terrain left.
The end of the movement phase would be when I would declare which weapon the mech was buffing, but he's dead, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. Okay, end of the movement phase now. I'm going to bring in my reinforcements, which is my squad of chopper boys, and I'm going to bring them in on the back corner, 9 inches away from the Titan. It's not just Steve who can play the toe chopping game. Okay, movement over, shooting phase, and first things first, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that Gargant has a firing deck of 90. All 20 of the orc boys inside, equipped with shooters, are going to be shooting the assassin because... No, it's not the closest model anymore, no! Guess we're going to be shooting the armigers. I'm probably going to target the Warglaive because that's more deadly at close range. So shooters are actually rapid fire 1. They are within half range, so they'll be doing 3 shots each. There's 18 of them.
54 shots.
It doesn't look great. That's actually 15 hits. Strength 4 against toughness 10, so now I'm winning on 6s. A single 6? Will your armiger be able to withstand such a barrage?
I can't believe there was 50 odd shots, went down to 1 and saved. That doesn't seem to make any sense.
Okay, because the Gargant didn't advance this turn, and because it fell back with its biggest and stompiest rule, it can still shoot, no penalties. The only stipulation is because I moved, I can't fire the Belly Buster. That's a one-shot weapon that I can't move or charge or fall back. So I can't use that. So let's just go down the list, shall we? First off, the Titan Killer Cannon, definitely in range. D6 shots.
You do hate to see it.
So I'm going to use 4 command points to re-roll that single dice. I hope it's worth it.
3's fine. 3's fine. It's 2 better than 1.
I've still got a hit now, so hitting on 5s.
Okay, I'm renaming the cannon. It's the Titan Tickler Cannon.
Okay, the Wargatler has loads of shots, but it's only strength 8. Better off shooting at the little armigers at my feet. So I'm just going to target the Warglaive entirely with this one. Half range, so that's 40 attacks plus 20, so 60 shots hitting on 5s.
We're running out of dice.
We're running out. I'm going to do it in 2 banks of 30, I think. First roll, 9 hits. Second roll, that's 16 hits total. Okay, and going to be wounding on 5s. Okay, 5 managed to wound, and that is AP minus 2.
So now I'm going to need 5s. That's going to be 6 damage that go through, and don't forget, I've got a feel no pain. So here we go. Great, absolutely nothing. So no, that's all 6 of those go through.
I wrote in a fun rule for the Wargatler. Basically, it can run out of ammo, and that gets more and more likely as the game progresses. So after firing, you roll a dice, and if the number you roll is lower than the current battle round, you can't fire it for the rest of the game. So basically, I just don't want to roll a 1 right now. Oh, come on! Okay, so no more Wargatler for the rest of the game. Next one on the list, the one-shot Mega Rocket. With 120-inch range, it is definitely going to hit the Titan. Now, this does 12 shots, hitting on 5s. Okay, well, that is a bit disappointing. Only 2 of those hit. That's what you get with orcs, I suppose. Now, in terms of strength, it has the nominal value of 12. However, if you look at the keywords, it has the anti-everything 2+ rule. So no matter what this thing is firing at, it's always going to be wounding on a 2+. Yeah, no 1s there. And also, this weapon has devastating wounds. So that 6 can't be saved. And the other fail is AP minus 3, so you're going to be saving on your 5 up and vulnerable.
Let's go. Perfect. But what does the failed one do, Guy?
Well, it's only D3 wounds.
I mean, it's definitely living up to being orky.
Well, you're down to 99 wounds. Quite useless. Going down the list yet again, we're now onto the 4 banks of rocket launchers. These only have a 24-inch range, so they are going to be targeting the little Warglaive down at my feet. D3 attacks each. That's just 1 hit. And does it wound needing a 5? No, it doesn't. Fantastic. Okay, going down the list yet again, the Gaze of Mork, the big spooky eye. This was borrowed from the old Forge World Morkanaut kit that you could get scaled up for the strength and damage that 10th edition brings rather than 8th edition. Again, I'm going to be targeting the little Warglaive, and that is D3 attacks. 2 shots, and because it's Torrent, they automatically hit. Strength 16 against Toughness 10, so wounding on 3s. Made 1 and failed 1.
AP -3. I have a 3+ save, so 6s. Uh-oh. How many damage, guy?
It's 6 plus D6. You're going to need to roll a lot of feel no pains.
Not a 1. He's very, very dead. Does he explode?
Okay, at least I killed something. Right, down to the last weapon on the list. That's the Twin Flak Attacker. Now, the rules for this were written to really counter flyers, because flyers are much more of an issue in 8th edition. It's also short range. It won't go far enough to hit the Titan, so I'm just going to target the little Helverin. This is within half range, so instead of 12 shots, it's going to be getting rapid fire 4, so 16 shots total. Okay, that's 5 hit. It's strength 5, so wounding on 6s. Nothing at all. That is the end of my shooting. Now it is time for the charge phase. I'm going to declare a charge on the Armiger. Would you like to Overwatch?
Yeah, okay. I've got some command points left, so yeah, why not? Let's Overwatch. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. It did absolutely nothing off the Overwatch, but hey, it was worth a go.
Okay, I rolled a 7, so yeah, the Gargant's going to move forward a little bit, tactically maneuver, so I can get a bit closer to the Titan in the next turn. Oh, and also I've got the Orc boys at the back there as well, don't forget them. They are going to need a 9-inch charge. They're going to get annihilated. Moving on to the fight phase, I've definitely made it in. What weapon to use? The Gargantuan Chopper's strike or sweep profile. Now, to be honest, I'd be tempted to overkill it, but 24 attacks at strength 12 on the lowest strength profile. That sounds good to me because the Armiger is only toughness 10. So 24 attacks hitting on 3s.
These are some pretty big numbers you're throwing around here, guy.
Well, I mean, you've seen how effective the shooting is, so the melee has to do something. Strength 12 against toughness 10, wounding on 3s.
Oh no, I'm in trouble. Okay, I have a save of 3, but it's AP -3, so I'm looking for 6s. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Good news, each one of those failed saves is 3 damage, so that'd be 36 damage.
Does he explode?
Oh. Yeah, there we go. Take that armature off. Yeah.
Because it's the end of Guy's turn, my assassin can just disappear off the table. Okay, so it's the start of my turn 3. Everybody gets a command point.
I'm back up to 1. Yay!
I've managed to save up 4 command points now, so just in case I need to do a reroll with that Titan. Right, in my movement phase, all I've done is move the 2 infantrymen right forwards. They're going to try and do something. And the Warlord, as we're all getting a little bit closer now, going to get a bit punchy with him, run him forwards as well. But not advanced, because I still want to shoot everything I've got. Dropping the assassin right at the back, just to try and deal with those guys with the big choppers. On to shooting. So, we've got the 2 identical Inquisitors. They've got Psychic and Combi weapons. With their Psychic Shockwave, they've managed to, between them, a whole 2 wounds. Right, now on to their Combi weapons. Okay, and that's another 1 with the Combi weapons, but I think that comes off the force field, so, okay, I mean, it was worth a go. Right, it's time for the Calidus to do some shooting. How many big choppers can we take out with this assassin? Okay, that wasn't quite as successful as I'd hoped. That's just 2 of them down. It's Titan time. Right, we need to take out those guys with the choppers because there's still way too many left. And I don't like that they're stood behind me. We're going to use the bolters off of the fist and the maulers off the Titan. Everything else is going to go into the Gargant. 13 hit and 10 wound. AP -2.
Yeah, they're dead.
Okay, the maulers have done their work. That's another 4. Take them away, guy. 4 left. I think that should just be enough for the assassin to tidy up. Apocalypse missile launchers. Right, that's 28 hits. What are we looking at for tough and strength? 8 versus 15. Okay, 5s it is. Right, that's 6 saves you've got to make there, guy. That's AP -2.
Okay, that'll take my 2+ to a 4+. 2 failed, 2 damage each. I still have 7 force field points remaining, so down to 3.
Now it's time for those Ardex Defensor las cannons.
Oh.
Well, that was worthwhile. Okay, all we've got left now is the Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator, and of course, we're gonna supercharge. So that's 2d6 plus 6 shots. 16 shots. So that's 13 hits, but I think I'm only wounding on a 5. That's 4, that's not the best.
Okay, AP -3 will mean I'm on a 5 up. Yeah, none of those are even close to a 5, so they do 8 damage each. So 32, so 3 of those are going to get soaked up with the remaining force field. I'm down to 29 wounds, which means I am bracketed. I'm going to be awful at shooting now. No.
I do have that assassin left that dropped in, so let's do a little bit of a charge. Because she dropped in from Deep Strike, she has to get 9 or above. That's the second time I've rolled an 11 for a charge today. I'll take that. I think she's going to jump over them and go behind them. Now she gets to attack first. Okay, she's managed to take out another 2 of them, so that's just 2 left.
It's Power Claw time. Nothing. Okay, let's try the single knob with the chopper, hitting on 3s this time.
Okay, 1 to save, and yep, there we go, 4+.
Excellent combatants there, Orc boys. Well done.
Yep, that is the end of my turn. All the shooting, all the fighting, and now it's time for me to worry, I think.
Orcs, turn 3. Command phase, everyone gets a command point. I'm up to 2. Steve, you're up to 5. Now, in the command phase, I'm really going to need those Grot Riggers to do their thing to get me out of the bracket. Otherwise, I'm going to be so bad at shooting. A 6. Okay, that's not brilliant, but it still takes me out of my bracket. So I'm back on 35 wounds. Now, let's see about the force field. Oh yeah, 9 for the force field. Pretty good. Movement phase, I am not going to move because I'm going to fire the Belly Buster Cannon, and that prevents me from moving or charging or falling back. So, yeah, kaboom! Here we go, baby. Let's lead with the Belly Buster Cannon, targeting, obviously, the Warlord Titan. 4d6 plus 12 attacks. Oh, that is 28 shots. And I'm going to be hitting on 5s now instead of 6s. Life is good. Oh, okay, that is 8 hit. Now this is strength 16, which matches the Titan's toughness, so then going to be wounding on 4s. Oh, only 2 wounds? No, please. And that is AP -3, so you're going to get to save that on a 5+, Steve.
Oh no. How many damage each guy?
6 plus d6. Okay, that's 18 damage total. Was that worth not moving for? Maybe not. Who knows? Time will tell. Okay, down to 81 wounds. Still way ahead, but let's see if I can whittle him down. Next up, the Titan Killer Cannon.
The Titan Tickler Cannon.
Shut up. And we are looking for d6 shots. Okay, 4 shots. Hitting on 5s. Just 1. This is strength 24 though, and so I'm wounding on 3s.
Okay, well, that's less than ideal.
Yeah, and that's -5 AP, so you're on your 5 up and runnable save.
Oh no, I'm in danger.
12 plus 2d6 damage.
Oh, it's just like double
24. You deserve it.
53 wounds remaining. Okay, it's a good thing you've not been shooting this well all game, because I don't think we would have got here.
And actually, annoyingly, everything else is kind of out of range apart from the twin flak attacker, which will do nothing. Yeah, I told you, it'd do nothing. Okay, so all of my rockets are going into one of the Night Inquisitors, and the Gaze of Mork is going into the other one.
4 saves, I'm onto my 5+. 1 goes through, 3 damage, he's got 4 wounds, so it's down to 1.
Okay, so the rockets failed to kill one of those dudes. My god. Okay, Gaze of Mork on the other one.
Are you really going to try and kill the dog guy? Oh, another AP -3. Okay, so I'm going to be back onto my 5+.
This is bullshit.
That'll do, dog. That'll do.
Okay, well, that's my shooting phase over, but all is not lost because I'm definitely going to charge those Inquisitors. Gonna need a 7-inch charge. Let's see if we can do it. Ooh, bang on. You're so dead. Okay, I'm gonna use the sweep profile, splitting the attacks 12 and 12.
Okay, 4 saves, AP -3 again. Yeah, he's dead, Dave.
Okay, now for the dog. 12 attacks hitting on 3s. That's 7 wounds, AP -3, Steve. You gonna save it with the dog?
Here we go, 7 5-ups. Well, I hope you feel good about that, Guy. You killed a dog.
Okay, that is the end of my fight phase, and that is the end of my turn, and I am perilously close to being charged by that Warlord Titan. Warlord Titan turn 4.
Command phase, everybody gets another CP. Right, movement time. What are we going to do? We're definitely going to charge that Warlord right up the middle. Yeah, I think that's it. Shooting time. I wonder what I'll shoot at. Everything into the Gargant. Let's go for the big stuff first. Sun Fury Annihilator. Let's go. And of course, we're overcharging. Okay, that's pretty good. 9 hits. That's great. Right, let's go for wounding. And okay, perfect. Down to 1. Excellent. Save, Guy. It goes through. Excellent. That is 8 damage.
Okay, well, that takes my force field down to 1.
Great rule, Guy. Well written. Right, las cannons.
Saved on a 6.
Maulers, there's 2 of them, 6 each, that's 12. Hitting on 3s. Okay, that'll do. Looking for 6s, and 1. And of course, saved. Ariok Power Claw. After all of that, we've got a grand total of 1 to save, Guy. Okay, this is extremely infuriating. F you, loads of missiles. Okay, that'll do. That's some good rocket hits. Now let's wound. That's 6 6s. AP -2. Save that, Guy. That's 2 failed, 2 damage each. That's 4 off.
Okay, so that's 1 off the final force field point, and then 3 wounds down, taking me to 32. So I'm bracketed. No.
Perfect. It looks like we're going to have to do some charging and punching.
Fail the charge. Fail the charge. Fail the charge.
And we're in. Right, it's fisting time. Okay, we're going to hit you with the Ariok Power Claw, the striking profile. So, although that's only 6 attacks, and we're hitting on 4s, which is a bit weird, it does do 24 damage each. Okay, so that's 4 that have hit. I'm going to use that CP that I've saved up to try and re-roll, and... of course, yeah, failed. Strength 20, so I'm wounding on 3s. Okay, that's 2 of those. I don't mind that, and it's AP -4, Guy.
Yeah, this is where the Gargant not having an invulnerable save doesn't really help, so I'm looking for 6s.
Now that is a whole 48 wounds.
I am destroyed. Does he explode? I've written the Gargantuan explosion rule to be a little bit more fun than the standard deadly demise. I'm rolling a d6 and looking for a 4+ to see if it explodes. And it does explode. Basically, everything within range suffers 2d6 mortal wounds. It would be so fun if it destroyed the Titan, but it doesn't have the juice to do it, unfortunately. I mean, the orcs inside would technically have to emergency disembark, but like, honestly, no one cares, right? You just wanted to see the big things smacking each other. There's absolutely no way in the sweet blue hell that 20 orc boys would be able to take down the Warlord Titan, and the orcs are very, very engaged with that assassin over there. So I'm counting this as an orc loss and an Imperium victory. The first time the Warlord Titan has ever won a game. Oh my.
I mean, you were going to either win-win or lose-lose this match, weren't you, really? 2 of your big things against each other. But I do think you've written some good rules with that. And I think that really you probably would have had it if you hadn't rolled quite so badly early on. You had some big misses. But that is what orc vehicles are all about. They're all nice and swingy. Just would have been nice if something had landed.
And after all, are you not entertained?
I mean, you don't often get to see 2 giant models like this hitting each other in the middle of a table.
And there we have it. Please let me know down in the comments what you thought of the new rule set, not just for the Gargant, but also for the Titan terrain smashing ability house rule that we came up with. Now, this video is already plenty long enough already, so I just want to offer up 4 suitably Titanic-sized thanks. First off, thanks to Steve for being such a fantastic opponent. You can check out his channel here on YouTube, Little Plastic People, and also over on Instagram too. Second, huge thanks to Dice Goblin for supporting this video. Please go check out the Kickstarter that's linked in the description if you're after some fantastically themed RPG dice. Third, enormous thanks to our little army of Patreon supporters who honestly keep this channel going. And finally, thank you for watching. You're the best. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.